takes too much time in setting. Hey everyone, welcome back to the new session. We are going to start about December 2026. Just forget June 2026 right now, and if you have made up your mind, just concentrate and focus. This is the time. So before starting any strategy or any content or class, I would like to show you few questions that you need to ask to yourself, that what you actually want, how much time you need, what exactly you want to crack, and like which way you want to be consistent with your practice, or you want to just prepare today and then you have to leave a gap for some days and then you will start again. So there are more such questions you need to ask yourself, that what actually you want and which is the best way for you all to prepare. So here is the question you need all to ask. See these questions and ask yourself that what is your ultimate aim, why you want to qualify NET JRF, or you want to be a PhD student, you want to like research. So what is all this, what's your dream, how much time you can dedicate. If we will consider from August, so you have August, you have September, October, November. Leave it December. So you have August, September, October, and November for only revision. So 3 months, how you are going to dedicate this time to yourself, not to yourself, but for your future, betterment of your future. So these are the questions. This is the questions I prepared so that you can just take a look and ask yourself that what actually your aim, how you are going to dedicate yourself, how many hours you can dedicate, and how you are going to be prepared for the upcoming month. You want to be consistent, you want to give your with gap, or how. So you have to ask that, are you really ready to go beyond just qualifying your exams, or you want to put your extra effort, you want to go for JRF, you want to think beyond only NET or PhD, where you want to see yourself, what do you want to achieve. So these are the questions. I know you all have already decided that you want to crack NET only or JRF only, or you want to become the PhD student, so that's fine. But with this, there are a lot of important questions you need to ask yourself. Okay, why I'm asking and sharing all this? Because if I will start the classes right now, you won't watch, you won't be regular. And once the form will release, you will like in hurry, and we will start your preparation. So that should not be happen. This is not the proper way you will get whatever you want to get in your life. So that's why I have brought these questions. Okay, I hope you have got and read. I have asked all these questions. Why? Because NET and JRF, these two have large difference. And what are the difference? The difference is that NET requires a smart preparation. If you have completed your MA with a very like being regular, and that, so you can you are not going to face any problem cracking NET. But if you are hoping to go for JRF, so JRF requires in-depth knowledge, like how English literature started and where we have reached, and between from how and where we have reached, you have to study everything, all the writers, minor, major, obscure, every detail about English literature. So JRF requires extra time, extra concern, focus, consistency, and then will help you to get your dream. So JRF requires extra depth, more practice hours, just I said, and NET requires extra not extra, but smart strategy, smart preparation. Even if you're not going to be consistent, but still you have to be smart with your strategies. Okay. So beginners specifically, there are few things you must do. First, you must download the syllabus from UGC NET NT's website for both paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, I hope you all have done already, and you all have observed that label of the pattern, label of the questions, and score marks. So you all know in paper 1 and in paper 2. In paper 1 we have 50 questions, okay, 50 questions we have, and in paper 2 we have 100 questions, right? So 100 questions each carry 2 marks. So we got 200 in paper 1, paper 2, and 100 in paper 1. So combinedly we get total 300 score. So in these 300 scores, if you are hoping for JRF, you need to think beyond 200 plus scores. That is the minimum and maximum score for JRF, 200 plus. For general, it differs in terms of categories like general, OBC, SC, ST, everything. I'm discussing everything from very basic. Okay. So paper 1 and paper 2. If you have qualified your MA, if you have already given, or if you are in the final year of your masters, you can go for NET. You can appear. Okay. So this is everything you must. Paper 1, again you have 10 units, and paper 2 again it's 10 units. So what are the most important units you all need to focus? So as you know that we are English literature students, I keep telling you, English literature students lack in math. So still in paper 1, don't think that only paper 2 will let you win the match. That's not going to happen. Paper 1 plus paper 2, you know, you need to score well to get your net or GRF, whatever. Combinedly, this is the game changer, booster for your dream, for your paper 2 score. Okay. So in paper 1, you have to think that you must score more than 60 to 70 plus for JRF, okay, and 50 plus. That is the minimum and maximum questions that you must crack. You must get it right. And in paper 2, you all know how many questions you need to go for. Okay. So paper 1 and paper 2, there are some important topics you need extra attention, and you need to be very careful with detailed understanding. So once you will get to the detailed understanding, it will become easier for you to understand the upcoming concepts related with the particular topic or particular units. Okay. So I will tell you step by step. Stay tuned. So let me discuss in paper one that how you can go with. Okay, one second. Okay, so the first unit we have teaching aptitude. This is if you will understand this concept, it will be easier, and if you won't understand it, it will be hard. Okay, teaching aptitude concept is clear to you, but there are a few important topics you need to go, like the levels of teaching. You have memory levels, understanding level, and so on. Then you have like so many related concepts that we get in recent exams. The topics you have, digital teaching, you must know. Methods of teaching, like this is very important. Research aptitude, we get a lot of questions from these one. Teaching aptitude, research aptitude, and communications. Okay. Along with this, we get questions from people development and environment. It is mentioned here. So conceptual, easy to grasp, you can get 10 plus score. Research aptitude, you have to build your knowledge about what is the meaning of Latin abbreviations. Research methodology, you need to understand. Okay, in communications you have to learn the fact based, okay, that what actually the communication is, and which is the different methods to communicate. Like we have gesture, like we have verbal, non-verbal. So everything you go in very much detail. People and environment development, people development and environment. This is something wrong. So people development and environment, SDGs, MDGs goal, very important. We get every time questions. Then you have a protocols, then you have COPs, then you have questions related with pollutants, pollutions. So these are the few important topics you need to cover in detail, and not in detail. I would suggest clear your concept. Clarifying concept is very important in these units. So these are the conceptual based. Once your concept will clear, you can crack easily. Okay. Then you need to go beyond reasoning, data interpretation, ICT, and higher education. If you are weak in math, I would suggest that you must cover 6 to 7 units, which I call super 7 units in paper one. You have teaching aptitude, you have research aptitude, you have communication, you have comprehension, you have ICT, you have higher educations like NEP from British. So these are the topics you can easily score even if you are weak in math. Okay, that doesn't matter. People development and environment. It is super 7 topics, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can easily get your score. No need to be scared in paper one at all. Okay. So here are few suggestions, and you can get. Okay. So here are few suggestions you all need to work on, and you can get a score. You can score well in comprehension, which is easy once you will practice. And the most important topics you can get a score: teaching aptitude, research aptitude, logical reasoning, along with higher educations. I would suggest development and environment. Many of you find it difficult, so you still if you find it difficult, still you have chances to learn SDGs, about SDGs, MDGs, goals. Okay, like it is have 17 and it has 8. So you can learn about the goals and its number of the goals and then you have protocols. So protocol needs, you need to learn the chronological. In chronology, basically you need to learn the year that which protocol happened first, occur first, and then later on. Then after all this, if you have gone with all this, if you have prepared your strategy, you must uh, solve a previous year question paper, giving your time 1 or 2 hours, so that you must give your time to solve. You must dedicate your time to solve the previous year questions. Once you have prepared the strategies, you need to analyze the previous year questions from the recent you can take or the past, and just try to check the level and pattern of the questions, and also your understanding that how much you need to understand, you need to prepare, and how much time you are taking on which topic. That's very important. Which topic is more time consuming for you? If you will find this, must note. You must make a note that which topic require much time, and accordingly you can prepare your schedule and start your preparation. It's easy and less time consuming. It will be very fruitful if you will do that. Last year too, I suggested that which are the books you can go along with. So this is the book. If you want to prepare all the literary terms, because we get a lot of questions in matching chronology, and we also get so many questions that which literary theorist associated with this or that. So a glossary of literary terms by M.H. Abram you can have or you can prepare from this book. So this is the very helpful. From A to Z, everything is mentioned with explanations, and not only one, but related with one, there are so many associated terms. Okay, so you can practice. For literary theory and criticism, literary theory, if you want to begin with, you can go with the book by Edward Albert, History of English Literature. Okay, History of English Literature, this book you can have. To understand, this is the very important, understanding the history of literature, it's very, very important to uh, strengthen your base. Okay, and also literary theory by Peter Barry, literary theory understanding the contemporary theories by Roman Sheldon, and Indian English literature by Nayak. These are the writers and their books you can go if you want. Also, world literature in your first by Prem Shankar Pandey. So you can go, you can get this book. This is the latest editions. Why I am suggesting this book? Because in this book you will find the filter content, not any extra or waste or any random topics or random anything is mentioned, but the content is very much filtered, and you can, if you want to prepare and if you go, if you want to buy any books, you can get along with this. You can purchase these books. Okay. And for online resources, you have so many mediums, like you have Google, you have YouTube, you have many websites for practicing. So I would suggest follow 2 3 channel by which you can prepare online. I'm suggesting you whether it's on YouTube or one website where you can practice MCQs on daily basis. Okay, because not only preparing and clarifying your concept, but practicing the MCQs is also very important. Why? Because you need to check that how much you have understood the concept you have prepared so far. Okay, so these are the thing you can prepare. This is just the introduction class, I would suggest. So please subscribe. Also, there is very important, you must join the membership so that you can get the selected class PDF. And if you have any doubt, you can watch the previous classes, the content you can check, and then accordingly you can decide whether you have to join or not. I won't force. You all know that how I am. There is a channel support you have. Email is mentioned in the description. Channel's bio. Then you can join the general Telegram group. You can be the part of the premium group where you will be consistent with your practice. Daily PYQs, MCQs, important topics, paper one important topics, all the highlights. Okay. So everything I'm trying to provide. It's up to you how and which way you want to go. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. Thank you so much. Now I have shared the basic details. You can now decide that how and which will be suitable for you. And then accordingly, just prepare your timetable, your routine, your schedule, and start following. Just do not wait. Okay. And June 2026, answer keys. Let's not discuss about that. Thank you so much. Do subscribe the channel, press the bell icon so that you won't miss any latest updates, notifications related to class or any other stuff. Okay. Take care of yourself and bye bye.